So every project has a little different tokenomics. It's a much bigger mathematical equation than trying to answer that right there, but natural gas and BGLD on the face look very similar. But the original token price was different. Why? Natural gas has more in-ground resources that we've already contracted royalties with in a much larger scale. So we have a much bigger potential for acquisition of the tokens, so we needed more tokens in circulation. Other than that, they are identical. The other thing in tokenomics from GROW to nat gas, GROW is very similar to debt. They're actually identical except for a tax. The transaction transfer tax is there. So if you look at the projects, you need to be careful in the light papers to read through the tokenomics and understand it. Now let's talk about debt. Or sorry, let's talk about BEV. So BEV is actually a unique one because we're trying to show the community patience. The biggest problem with the community at large right now is understanding the most powerful tokenomic we have is halving. But it takes a year to do it. And then they think it's going to happen overnight. Well, you have a whole year of extra inventory that has to move out. So the tokenomics were designed on a supply-demand theory. If you have 2 million coming in revenue and you have 2 million being mined every single month, what happens to token price? But what if you mined 2 times as much the year before? What happens to the token price?
Goes down.
It could if they sold. It's all about supply on the market and revenues coming in. The next year, what happens? You have 2 million, and hopefully we bring on 200, 300 more wells, so now you have 4 million, but you only have 1 million of tokens going out a month to mine. What happens to the token price? It should 4x. But you have all that token that came out the year before. What's happening with that? The unknown is emotion. The unknown in any mathematical equation in crypto is human behavior. And so when people see Bitcoin drop in half, what happens? They're scared of the crypto market. Doesn't matter if I'm tied to Bitcoin or not. They see fear and they sell. When you have other projects that you may be involved with and you're fearful, I can honestly tell you I think that's affected this particular ecosystem a lot. Because you have fear from another thing in your life or another project that you dealt with that may not be performing like you thought. It could be your own personal situations of death, divorce, illness in families. They would love to hold. They unfortunately don't have the ability they have to do. That's a lot. So in all of our best mathematical equations, in all of our best efforts to produce the results we want, there is human action that we cannot control. The benefit in our ecosystem is if that emotion causes selling, it benefits holders in ways that you guys cannot even imagine right now. $2 million was only supposed to purchase about 200 million token. Right now, we are purchasing over 500 million token. What happens 2 years from now when we anticipated that token hitting the market?
There's none of it left.
It's not there. So when natural gas stays at 0.0002 for this long, all that token that was supposed to be purchased 6 months, 8 months, 12 months from now, it won't be here. It's gone already. So what happens? That human interaction caused the short-term pain and probably more anxiety, which then caused more people to sell, which then caused more. It's a domino effect. But what happens is eventually you have no token for the 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, 5 million that is in mathematical equations supposed to pop out in year 2 and 3. It popped out in 3 months. It popped out in 2 months. Joe calls me all the time. What's going on in that gas? I said, everything's perfect. Because I look at the numbers in circulation and I don't control the price. Everyone in this room does. Node holders control the price because whatever you feel your value is, you're selling it. And I believe that you guys are telling me your value is 0.0002 because you keep selling it at 0.0002. When you guys decide it's worth 0.0003, it'll go 0.0003. That it's just truth. And so the benefit is all the emotion right now is sucking so much token out. We did not anticipate anything close to what's happening right now in a very good way for holders. Because in 2-3 years, this token is not here to come to the market. It's gone.
So to answer a little bit more specifically on BEV itself is what we found, a year and a half into, our earliest project is right around the halving, you have this kind of critical apex of people not knowing what's going on. Do I hold it right here? Do I sell it right here? And then you have, the 8 months that surround that where it kind of flattens and levels off. So what we wanted to do with BEV is consolidate that time frame down to months instead of years. And so by offering a quarterly quarter, we're actually burning the same amount of token, but we're doing it more often, which should actually kind of plateau and have more of a this effect than a this, the jury's still out on how that will work because we don't understand the human behavior behind it. But the idea was we can give you guys kind of a foreshot into the future by saying what's going to happen to these tokens 3 or 4 halvings down the road. And we can do that over the next, 6, 9, 12 months with BEV.
So watch BEV very, very closely.
It's kind of a future teller.
It will tell you how these large events on the annual basis of the other tokens will happen and should happen. You guys have not gone through one full halving of natural gas yet. Not one. So in July 1st, you guys will see that first benefit. Is it going to happen immediately? Well, it happens on July 1st. But the outcome of it, you may not see for 3 or 4 months after that because you're going to have the unknown that, okay, well, I thought it was going to go double and triple. Well, it may. Or it may stay stagnant if the selling actually increases by 2. So if selling doubles, then you basically offset the halving that took the token out of the market. But how long can they do that?
There's only so much.
There's only so much, so not forever. So the BEV token is there to show you guys this in a much more rapid function.
Disculpa, no estoy cartón,